Iceland, a land of fire and ice, where sagas are etched into the very landscape. But in the mid-1970s, a different kind of story began to unfold. A story of vanishing men, whispered accusations, and the most chilling betrayal of all, the betrayal of one's own mind. This is the tale of the Reykjavik Confessions, a real-life psychological thriller where justice vanished and memory became a weapon. It begins with two men, seemingly unconnected, two disappearances months apart that would plunge an entire nation into decades of doubt. First, 18-year-old Guðmundur and Geirfinnur. On January 26, 1974, after a night out in Reykjavik, he was last seen stumbling away from a pub. He walked into the harsh Icelandic night and was never seen again. Then, 10 months later, in November 1974, Geirfinnur and Geirfinnur, a 32-year-old father, disappeared after leaving a restaurant in Reykjavik. His car was later found, headlights on, door ajar. But Geirfinnur was gone. No bodies, no witnesses, just silence. Iceland, a small, close-knit society, was gripped by fear. Who were these men? And what dark force had snatched them from their lives? The initial investigations yielded nothing. The cases went cold. For years, the families lived in agonizing limbo. But then, in 1976, 2 years later, a breakthrough emerged. Or so it seemed. Police were investigating an unrelated smuggling operation. During interrogations, a woman named Erla Balladottir mentioned she'd had a dream about Geirfinnur. A fleeting comment, a throwaway line. But in the desperate hunt for answers, it was enough. Suddenly, a net was cast, not over hardened criminals, but over a group of young, mostly working-class individuals, friends, acquaintances. Erla, Sivar, Christian, Tryggvi, Gunn, Albert. 6 people, caught in a web they didn't even know existed. They were brought in for questioning, and what followed would become a dark chapter in judicial history, remembered as the Reykjavik Confessions. Imagine, you're young, you're scared, and you're alone, for months, even over a year, held in solitary confinement, isolated from family, friends, and legal counsel. The interrogations were relentless. Hours upon hours. Days turned into weeks, then months. The police, under immense public pressure, were convinced these young people held the key. They pushed. They suggested. They outlined scenarios. And slowly, subtly, the suspects began to crack. The human mind, under extreme stress, is a fragile thing. When you're told something enough times, when details are fed to you, when your own memories are questioned and dismissed, you can begin to doubt yourself, to believe the narrative being presented. The psychologist Elizabeth Loftus famously demonstrated how easily false memories can be implanted. In Iceland, these 6 young people were living proof. They started to remember things that never happened. Fragmented memories of driving to deserted locations, of disposing of bodies, of conversations that never took place. They confessed, one by one, to murders that had no evidence, no bodies, only the chilling echoes of their own manipulated memories. In 1977, for years after Guðmundur's disappearance, these 6 individuals were put on trial. Their confessions, extracted under duress and without physical corroboration, were the cornerstone of the prosecution's case. Sivar Shishelski and Christian Viersen were found guilty of Guðmundur's murder. Sivar, Christian, Tryggvi Runarleifsson, Gunn Skarfinson, and Albert Clan Skaftason were all convicted in Geirfinnur's case. Erla Balladottir was convicted of perjury for her initial false testimony regarding the confessions. The sentences were severe. Years, even decades, stripped from their lives. Iceland thought it had its answers. The cases were closed. But a deeply unsettling question lingered in the quiet corners of the nation. Had justice truly been served, or had an unimaginable error taken place? For decades, the convicted, their families, and a growing number of legal experts and journalists refused to let the Reykjavik Confessions lie buried. Sivar Shishelski, in particular, became a tireless advocate for his own innocence and that of his co-defendants. The case became a stain on Iceland's judicial record. International attention slowly grew, with psychologists and human rights advocates highlighting the devastating implications of coerced confessions and solitary confinement. New evidence, ignored in the original trials, began to surface. Key witnesses recanted or cast doubt on the original police work. The legal landscape shifted, with greater understanding of memory and interrogation techniques. As the years passed, the fight for justice continued. The Reykjavik Confessions became a symbol of the need for reform in the justice system, a reminder of the fragility of truth. Finally, after years of tireless campaigning, in 2013, the Icelandic Supreme Court announced a review. The pressure had become too immense to ignore. The voices of the wrongfully convicted echoed through the halls of justice, demanding recognition and truth. Families of the victims waited anxiously, their hopes intertwined with the fate of the accused. The media buzzed with speculation, each headline a reminder of the past's haunting shadows. As the review date approached, the nation held its breath, caught between hope and despair. The stage was set for a monumental decision that could change lives forever. And then the moment arrived. In 2017, over 4 decades after the disappearances, the Icelandic Supreme Court did the unthinkable. It quashed the convictions of 5 of the 6 individuals. Erla Bolladottir's perjury conviction was also overturned in 2018, marking a significant turning point. The court acknowledged the systematic flaws in the investigation, the psychological coercion, and the unreliability of the confessions. It was a monumental victory for justice, but a tragically belated one for those who had suffered so profoundly. For some, like Tryggvi Runar Leifsson, who died in prison in 1999, vindication came too late. They never experienced the freedom they deserved. The Guðmundur and Geirfinnur cases, once Iceland's darkest shame, finally saw a glimmer of truth. But the murders themselves remain unsolved. The bodies were never found. The real perpetrators, if they exist, were never brought to justice. The Reykjavik Confessions stands as a chilling testament to the fragility of memory and the immense power of the state. It forever changed how Iceland views its justice system and serves as a global cautionary tale. It highlights the critical need for robust legal protections, the inherent dangers of solitary confinement, and the devastating impact of coercive interrogation tactics. It reminds us that confessions without corroborating evidence can be the most dangerous form of truth. The story of Guðmundur and Geirfinnur and the 6 individuals wrongfully imprisoned isn't just a historical footnote. It's a stark reminder that even in seemingly safe societies, justice can falter. The human mind can be weaponized against itself. The chilling tale of the Reykjavik Confessions serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of coercion and the power of memory. In the end, who can truly say what is real? In the heart of Iceland, the echoes of the past still resonate. The Reykjavik Confessions remain a chilling chapter in the annals of justice, a tale of betrayal that continues to haunt. As we reflect on the Reykjavik Confessions, we are reminded of the importance of vigilance in the pursuit of justice. The truth must always be sought, no matter how elusive. The psychological implications of this case extend beyond Iceland. It serves as a cautionary tale for legal systems worldwide, urging reform and greater awareness of the human mind. What are your thoughts on this incredible case? Have you heard of other instances of false confessions due to psychological pressure? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this deep dive into Iceland's darkest mystery intriguing, please like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more stories that challenge our perceptions of truth and justice. The Reykjavik Confessions serve as a powerful reminder of the need for vigilance in our justice systems. They challenge us to question the narratives we accept and the systems we trust. In the end, justice is not just a concept. It is a continuous struggle for truth. Let us remember the stories of those who suffered and strive for a better future. Together, we can ensure that such injustices never happen again. Thank you for watching.